What if The Last of Us Part 2 ended in this bloodbath between Ellie, Dina, and Abby? Whether or not you liked The Last of Us Part 2, you can't remain indifferent to its story or to the fate of Ellie, Joel, Dina, Abby, or Tommy. But have you ever wondered what would have happened next if the game was over at the end of that scene? Although we loved the rest of the adventure and the awesome finale between Ellie and Abby, we would have liked the game to have ended there. After a spectacular fight in an abandoned theater, Abby blows Ellie's right arm before Dina tries to rescue her. Unfortunately for her, Lev also arrives and shoots an arrow, which is enough for Ellie's girlfriend to find herself on the ground. Abby takes over and manages to crush an unconscious Dina lying on the ground. As she's about to slit her throat, Ellie and Lev beg Abby to spare her. This scene of rare violence ends with a moment to be remembered. Ellie is dying, and Dina doesn't show any signs of life, in addition to the symbolism given by the light effects at that moment. Dina is surrounded by a blue light, symbolizing peace, while Ellie lies in red, symbolizing blood and revenge. We understand that this fight will leave marks on the life of the young couple and that nothing will ever be the same again. No one can remain unmoved after such a scene, and it took us a few minutes to recover. Now, imagine that the game ends there. What could have happened in the third part? If we follow the plot of the end of this Part 2, we can imagine that Part 3 would have been the trip to Santa Barbara with the Rattlers as the main enemies, and the long-awaited reunion between Ellie and Abby. We might have known more about this new faction, their interests and story. In the original ending, the game seems to rush its outcome a bit by bringing us directly to the Santa Barbara coast. Instead of rushing this game to get to the final battle, we could have had a real game centered on this journey, certainly strewn with obstacles and perpetual questioning. And why not come to the same end at the end of Part 3, but from the point of view of Abby or Lev? We would have liked to know how they ended up on the pole. Didn't they try to free themselves from their chains and attempt a victory? What did they do to be made to end up looking so weak? At the same time, we could have had Dina's perspective, her life after Ellie left, and returned to Jackson. If we went further, we could have seen JJ's first steps and training to make him as strong a survivor as his father. If the game ended at the theater, that finale would have kicked off Act 3, and with it all the speculation from fans. Obviously, many players would not have liked this ending, but the game might have seen more enthusiasm, driven by speculation and other theories. A sequel would have been eagerly awaited by the fans to know the fate of our dearest Ellie. What do you think?